Yeah.
It was a bit fast, but I will rewatch it and yeah.
Yeah. I know it. You are going to get some trouble while seeing these things. But the situation here is just, did you learn it right now?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
My question is it very difficult here when I'm explaining this thing? Does it seems very difficult?
It's a little bit faster for me, but it will be fine.
Okay, no issue. We will try to go a little bit slow then. So with this, guys, our first chapter is over. This is a very basic chapter, and you see, these things are in the market from like last 30 years. Okay,
Mhm.
30 years, very big a period. 30 years, if you go for technical perspective, 30 years is a very large amount of time, and SAP is there from last like 50 years or so. So the situation here is, if we only learn the basic part, do you think we can outstand in the market? Never, na.
No.
This was the basic part. You should know it. That is why I explained in detail. But after that, once you do these things, just move on to the next part, because we have a lot of stuff to learn. So with this, our ABAP dictionary is over. Now we will start with our second chapter, which is ABAP programming part. Okay,
Mhm.
or let's say basic programming techniques we are going to see inside it, also known as classical reports. We will explore all the fundamentals of the programming part, and then we will see how we can become a better programmer day by day. So before starting this chapter, again I have a question with you. You guys have heard this word RICEF? Only for ABAPers. You guys have
Yes,
heard what is RICEF?
it's an acronym for what can be done with ABAP.
ABAP.
If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, it stands for
Report.
reports,
Yeah.
interfaces. Uh,
And
the F is for forms,
yeah,
and C and E I don't really remember.
enhancements
And yeah,
and forms. One more stuff is there called workflow. Well, this is not a part of our course, but let's explain it also. See, guys, report, programming part, interface. SAP provides us a interface. We can create our own interface like BAPIs or function modules to exchange the data. Like we can give some input, that particular thing will return us some output then. Conversion. When you move your business from other technologies and you want to bring all those data to SAP system, we are required to convert that particular thing into the appropriate format supported by our SAP system, and then we are going to store it over our SAP database. Then we have enhancement. Let's say we have a standard program and my client do not like it. What my client wants is that some more features should also be there. Okay, some more features should also be there. Should also be there. So in that situation, we can perform the enhancement part. We can add some more features to the already existing SAP functionality. That is called enhancement. Then we have this forms. In the form we have smart form and Adobe form. Okay. Smart form is there to create the business document. Adobe form is also there to create the business document. Now this Adobe form is also known as PDF form, because we can directly get the output in form of PDF using Adobe forms. We will see it. But in case of your smart form, you are required to convert into PDF, and it is like a little bit lengthy process. Two stuff is there for creating business documents. Do you know the meaning of business documents here? Like billing documents, which we get from when we purchase any item from Amazon, right? That kind of document we can create it. Then we have this workflow concept. So let's say in any organization, whenever you are working in any organization, what you see there, when you apply for any leave, and There is a possibility that your manager is like on leave from last 1 week, so he will not be able to see that your leave request. So what the system does in that particular situation, they simply accept your leave request after 24 hours if your manager is not performing any action on that. This is called workflow or automating the business process. Automating the business process. Okay. Very beautiful interview question. What is RICEP W? Automating the business process workflow. Okay. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
Okay, na? So with this, let's start introduction part. Introduction to ABAP programming. So with this first question, what is ABAP? Or let's say what is ABAP? What is ABAP? Can
It
anybody
stands
answer?
for it stands for Advanced Business
Okay.
Application Programming.
Advanced Business Application Programming. What do you understand with this meaning? Advanced Business Application Programming. What is the meaning of it?
Can make dynamic programs like business
No.
applications.
That doesn't make any sense with this word. We are performing the programming part over the application layer, right?
Yes.
It is a program, that is why programming. And we are modifying our business. We are working for our business so that we can increase our profit day by day. We can maximize our profit. We can utilize our resources on an effective manner. That is why business programming language. Okay.
Mhm.
So they simply named it ABAP. See, the situation was earlier before ABAP, when SAP has no programming language of their own, they were working with Java. Okay, they were working with Java programming language. You might have heard this one, Java programming language. But again, the problem here is if any company is there in the market and that particular company is using some other product, so there is a possibility that they can lose their clients and customers, because the customer will be thinking like in this way that this guy is using some other product. They don't have their own product now. So to reduce this thing, what they did was they used the feature of Java and some other programming languages at that time like C++ and SQL. Do you know this SQL? Structured query language, which is used for data performing database operations. So they simply use some programming language. They combined all their features, like they combined some of the features of this programming language, and they came with their own programming language and named it ABAP, Advanced Business Application Programming. Okay,
Mhm.
is this thing clear? Now with this,
Yes.
I have a very beautiful question. Let's say I'm simply writing a program here, right? Simple ABAP program I'm writing here. Hi guys, uh, welcome to the very first ABAP session, ABAP programming session. So can I tell, is it possible to execute this particular program here? Will I be able to get any output if I will execute this program here? Now this is my
I think
question.
within the ABAP editor or
Within the ABAP editor, that is a different stuff. My question is on this notepad, is it possible to get the output?
no, because you're not running it on the runtime environment.
Runtime environment. Very beautiful in the answer here. For any programming language, guys, for any programming language, for any programming language, we always require a runtime environment for its execution. If there is no runtime environment, my program cannot execute. Java requires JRE, Java runtime environment. C++ requires C compiler for their execution. ABAP requires ABAP application layer for its execution. All the stuff that is required for execution of ABAP program is provided by our ABAP application layer. Then with this, where we can write our ABAP program, where we can write our ABAP program, where we write any program, any programming. The tool
Compiler?
that what editor, yeah.
In the
So
compiler?
no, 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 no. Compiler, we were not writing anything in the compiler. See, I am a compiler, okay, and my job is to test the and execute the program. So can you say that the code is written on me? No, I'm a some different software. My job is to test the program and execute the program. Compiler is a separate guy, okay. The tool over which we write any program is called as editor, okay. Editor. For Java, you require Java editor. For C++, you require C++ editor. And here we have ABAP editor. Okay. We are going to write our ABAP program in ABAP editor. Okay. So what is the transaction code for ABAP editor?
SE38.
SE38. SE38 is the transaction code for our ABAP editor. And can I say that if I am going to create any program, the program name will always start with Z sign,
Z or
Yes.
Y?
Z or Y? Yes. So when we will create any custom program, any custom program, all the names will always start with either Z or with Y. Mostly Z only. I prefer Z only, so I am going to write with Z only. Totally up to you, because only like point some fractions of people use Y. Most of the people only use a Z sign. So I will suggest you to use this one only. So we will
Mhm.
start with G sign. Okay. So let's create our first program. Again, this guy has logged out. So log in. Go to SC38 and see here. This is called our ABAP editor. You can see here variants, attributes, text elements, documentation, all the parts you can directly go inside the program and you can access it, and you can also directly access it from this interface also. For now, just let's use source code only. And let's say I'm writing first ABAP program. Okay, first ABAP program, and this program might be there already in the system. No, it is not. Okay, then create it. As soon as you will click on create button, you are going to see a lot of stuff. Original language created by last change. Attributes part is there with a lot of feature. Okay. So for now, the only two important fields that is necessary for us is title. See this one. As in the it is similar to the short description here. So I'm simply writing first ABAP program. And when you will see in the type option, you are going to get a lot of stuff here. But for now, just select executable program. Okay, just select executable program. So only two things are important for us, title and type. Executable program simply means any program that can be executed. That is, that can give you any output. That is going to give you a output. That particular program is called executable program. Press enter, assign the package and transport request. And this is the section here, your coding section. Okay, your coding section. This is your coding section, right?
Mhm.
So when you go for any executable program, what do you think a executable program means? I have just explained here. A executable program is the one which can be executed, right? Executable program. Any program that can be executed is called executable program. That is, you can run the program and you can get the result that you are looking for. Now another feature, let's see it. When I opened the program, I am seeing that I have got like 6 lines of code, right? And with this 6 line of code, what I am seeing here is there is a statement written, right? And these things are like in light color, and this is in black and blue color, right? Is it?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
we are getting here a report keyword, then we are getting our program name, the same name that we have passed, followed by a period or full stop. Okay.
Mhm.
So another important point, fourth point. What is a statement, guys? Can I say that this is a statement with two words followed by a period,
Yes.
right? So statement, statement. A statement is a sequence of words, is a sequence of words that always ends with a period. That always ends with a period or full stop, whatever you are going to say, totally up to you. Okay. So a statement is a sequence of words that always ends with a period or full stop. Now, everything that you are going to write inside your ABAP program or everything will always be a statement. Okay. Every section of code. Let me just open a standard program. Okay. Let me just show you some standard code here. Let's say I'm opening this BAPI and just see here. Try to. Can I say this is a statement?
Mhm.
Just see here. The code started from this one and it is ending at this particular section. This is the only full stop for this particular code. This is again a statement. This is again a statement. This is again a statement, right? Sequence of words followed by a period. So everything that you are going to write inside your ABAP editor, it will always be a statement. Now this black and blue color. What do you think the blue color is telling us here, and what do you think this black color is telling us here?
I think blue would be the command and black would be the object.
Okay, command and object. That is good. But here, we are seeing is now keywords. Do you know what keyword? In ABAP, all the keywords will always appear in blue color. Okay. Keyword simply means that some words created by SAP for us to help us to get the desired output. A lot of keywords are there like write, if, else, case, call, function, a lot of thing is there. Loop and loop, a lot of stuff is there. Similar to it, we are seeing here report. Now, if a question is being asked to you, what is a report? What will be your answer? What is a report? If a question is being asked to you, what is a report? What will be your answer?
It's like a screen, right? Within SAP.
A report is like a screen. Do you think this particular answer is making any sense? A screen. If I answer this question, do you think anybody will be satisfied with it? Just see the approach when we created it. What I did, I went for this program. I have given a program a name. I clicked on create button. There I selected type as executable program. And because of this type, I am getting this report here. Okay, because of this type, I am getting this report here. And let's say if I change this to module pool and I'm clicking on save button, is it change? Let's say just I'm creating another program here. One, I will go for create. I'm just giving any title. I'm selecting another feature. Module pool. Just what is this word? Program now,
Program. Mhm.
right? So if I am selecting the executable program, then and only then I'm able to get this particular stuff, right? Then and only then I'm able to get the, if I'm selecting the executable program, then and only then that button is coming called, sorry, that keyword is appearing called report, right?
Mhm.
So the simple definition of report is reports are the executable programs in SAP ABAP. Okay, executable programs. Now some important keywords as usual. What were the what is the button to check the error inside any database object when we were creating? We were clicking on this button, right? For say, checking the errors when we were creating either tables, data domains, data element, anything. We were clicking on this button to check the syntax or check the errors.
Mhm.
The same stuff is here. Whenever you are going to click create any program, or once the programming part is done, you will click on save button. You will go for this syntax check to check is there any error. If there will be error, by default your error message will come in form of red color. And if there is no error, you can activate your program by clicking on this one. So either you can go for the shortcut key control plus F3, you can go for the shortcut key control plus F2, or you can click on these buttons. Okay, it will perfectly work. And once your program is in active mode, then you can click on this execute button to get the output. The shortcut key for this execute button is F8. Okay, F8. Now see here, we have another button called display or change. So this is to change your program to read mode, or let's say non-editable mode. And again you will click on this, it will go for change mode or editable mode. Okay, you can write your programs now. Some properties of ABAP editor that we are discussing over here. Okay,
Mhm.
now do you know a very important transaction code called SEAT? The most important transaction code,
That's the
SEAT,
object navigator, or
object navigator. It is the most important transaction code of entire SAP system. Now see, I am just relating it with our country. Okay, any country. Which guy has authority for everything? Who has the authority for everything? For
the
everything. No, no, no,
SAP
no, no. For
basis.
everything in the country. I'm just comparing with a
Oh,
country. Okay. Can I say the Prime Minister office or PMO office or President office? Can I say it? PMO or President office has the access of everything for a country. Can I say
I
it? Or am I right?
think so. Yeah.
The same stuff is there, guys. This object navigator is your Prime Minister office of SAP system. You can go to SEAT just by you can directly navigate from your program also by clicking on this button, display object list. You will be able to go and you will be able to directly see from here what you have written till now, everything, whatever the folder is there. If you want, you can pass your table name directly here. Let me just show you. Go to SEAT from here and let me just show you. If you will see here, you can pass your function group, and inside this function group just pass your table name that we have created and press enter. See how many things are coming here. Everything we can access it directly from here. Function modules that has been created at the runtime. Do you remember, have we created this thing? No, na. Everything has been generated at the runtime. Type group, types, lot of fields, everything. They guide. See here, this particular object navigator is your Prime Minister office. He have the access of everything. So sometimes there is a possibility that you might be getting some errors and you will not be able to resolve it. What you will do in that particular situation, just come to SEAT, open your object, right click on the object and click on activate. Okay. So if there will be any unactivated object inside the main parent object, all the thing will be activated and there is a possibility your error will be removed. Okay.
Mhm.
Very important transaction code SEAT. In the left you will be seeing all the files and in the right you will be seeing all the programs that is there inside it. Just see here how many screens are there. This is 001. Do you remember this, Mukul?
Um,
A little bit. You showed me how to make a field mandatory. Now do you remember
mhm,
this? For any screen there will always be three tabs: attributes, elements and flow logic. Okay,
mhm.
always. So everything we can directly access from SEAT. Very important. Now let's get back to our program. So object navigator who has the authority for everything inside, or let's say who has the access of everything in our SAP system. Then some next. Pretty printer. Pretty printer. This is used. This is used to format our code. Format or beautify our code. View beautify our code. Okay. So let's say I'm simply writing some codes here. If let me just define a variable. We will discuss everything. For now, I'm just explaining this pretty printer property. So please focus on it. I'm simply creating a variable called types. And I'm writing like this one. If let's say I'm writing in small letters now. If VMP 101, let's decrease its length to 3 equals to then some right statement and end it. I have written a code here. Okay, let's just change to small letters. Now see what is going to happen when I will click on this button. Pretty printer. When I will click on this button, what is going to happen? Okay, source text was formatted. And now just compare with the code that I have written just a moment ago. Which code looks more beautiful to you and which code is more readable in nature if we compare with the earlier one to this one? Which code is more readable in nature?
Yes.
This one, right? So
Mhm.
Pretty Printer is there to beautify our code or format our code, and it simply increases the readability of any ABAP program. You can also use shortcut key here. See a shortcut key Shift plus F1. Okay. Now, if you want to change the setting of this Pretty Printer, you can simply go to Utilities, Setting, and see here. We have Pretty Printer setting. And by default, indentation is on. And in the convert uppercase or lowercase, uppercase is there. That is why my whole program has been converted to uppercase. But if I simply uncheck it, I'm clicking on OK button. Now see how this thing is going to work. Let's change it to small. Just remove the indentation here. Write everything in a small letter. right? And if in a small now, wait a second, and if in a small now click on pretty printer. Is it working? Because it is switched off in the setting. Is it working? No, no.
Mhm.
Now let's give a indentation. Let's give an indentation. Go to pretty printer. Only allow the indentation part. Click on OK. Give again. Click on pretty printer. See it. A space is coming here, right? It is showing here that this write statement has been written between this if and if condition. Okay, that is why indentation part is necessary. It shows us that if we are writing some logic, if it is written in between two codes, it is only there to separate it so that any user can understand that this particular section of code has been written in between the this and this line. Okay, and then you can also change the other settings like convert uppercase or lowercase. I prefer myself, I prefer the uppercase only, so I only give this one. Okay, it's totally up to you. Whatever setting you prefer, you can give it. Your code will change accordingly. Okay, now is it clear? Pretty
Yes.
printer. We often use the pretty printer. That is why it was necessary to explain. Another thing, comments. Do you know what is a comment? What
Yes, it
is
does not get interpreted by the when you run it, so it's just for you. You can leave some comments and some notes.
okay? So that I can leave some comment and notes. What is the meaning of it? Leaving a comment or note. What is the use of comment? Can
To
I
add more
say it? A comment is an explanation, or let's say, if a certain code I have written, let's say I've written 1,000 line of codes here, and after some time I realize that these 100 lines of code I do not need it. So will it be a wiser approach to simply delete the code, or so will it be better if we simply comment it out? Because there is a
right?
possibility that in the future we might need that particular lines of those codes. So if I do not want to write that again, I will simply comment it because my compiler is not going to read. Okay,
Yes, it's better to comment it. Yeah.
so that is one answer. Another answer is the comment is the explanation that maybe whatever I am going to write, like let's say I'm writing a comment here that below i will write I will write logic to display sales order data. Okay. So if any other user will open this particular program, what they will realize that below this particular line number 9, the logic for all the sales order data has been written, right? Comment is explanation that is added to the source code of a program to help the person reading the program to understand it. Okay. Is this thing
Mhm.
clear? Now, how do we write a comment? How do we write a comment? So, guys, there are two ways to write a comment. If you want to give a full line of comment starting from this particular section, you can start with star or asterisk sign. Okay, star or asterisk sign. You can see here whenever we create any program, by default, first 5 lines are commented out, and you can see it is starting with star sign. If it will not start with star sign and you will give here a space, by default you can see here it has changed to black color and you will get a error because of it. Okay, so this is called full line comment. Full line comment, everything that you are going to line right after the star, everything will be comment. And when you are going to execute the code, your compiler will not read this line, it will directly move to next line. Okay,
Mm.
then half line comment. So let's say I have written if Sayu name is equals to Amrit01, and I will write the hi Amrit, hi Amrit, Thank you for using recipe system. I am simply writing a code here. Okay. Now what I want is I want to write a comment after this particular line so that I can explain what this code has been written. So what you can do is you can use double quotes. Okay. And after this double quote, whatever you are going to write, everything will be considered a comment here. Okay. Everything will be considered a comment. So this is your full line comment and this is your half line comment. Okay. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
Cool. Alan,
Yes.
it is clear now?
Yes.
Another thing is there. Let's say I have written 100 and 200 lines of code and I have to comment all of them. So which approach is it a good way to just like go to every line of code and give a star? Will it be possible to for us to go to every line of code and give a star for all the 100 and 200 or let's say 1,000 line? It will become difficult, na?
Yes.
Mhm.
So for that situation, what we can do is we can directly select the code and you can give here control plus comma. By default, the code will be commented out. Okay. Simply select all the codes and click on control plus comma. As many times you will click on control plus comma, star will be applied in the first place of that particular line and your code will be commented out. And if you want to uncomment a selected line of code, just use control plus period or control plus full stop. See here, by default the star will be removed. So control plus comma to comment and to control plus full stop to uncomment. Okay,
Mhm.
is it clear?
Yes.
So
Yes.
guys, these were the some very basic stuff that we are going to use on a regular manner. So you might or you are required to understand these things. Okay, please read it. Please read the notes that I will share. It will help you. Now let's start with data types. Let me just open our second chapter. Yeah, data types. What do you think? What is a data type? What do you think? What is a data type? Our first data dictionary chapter, I have already explained domain part is there, which is going to store the technical information like what kind of data I'm going to store, right? And what will be its length. So
Mhm.
here in the ABAP programming, again, I have to define what is a data type. How do we, I will I define it? What is a data type? What is a data type? How will I define it, guys? What is a data type? Please think on it. How we will define a data type here.
We can define what type a certain data object will be like. For example, is it a character or a integer and
Okay.
so on. Mhm.
So can I say data type defines the technical attributes like types and length? Same stuff.
Yes, definitely.
I can say it now.
Mhm.
Can I say it, Mukul?
Yes.
So data types defines the technical attributes like type and length again of data objects. Now what is this data object? What do you think? What is this data object? If I am writing this line, what is the meaning of it? What is the meaning of it? If I'm writing this like data types are just templates to create a data object. If I'm writing this line, can anybody tell me what is the meaning of a data object now? And what is a data type now?
A data object is something that represents an object from the reality. For example,
Okay.
like we have, like in our previous example, the employee ID, for example, or the employee name, those can be data objects.
Okay. All right, guys. Let me just say, let me just show you a structure. Okay. If I will I'm searching for human structure. Can you say that this is a human or is it a human structure? This is a human
Human
structure, right?
structure. Yeah.
We are human. We have all the functionality, but this is just a template, right? This is just a template. So let's say when we have to create any house, what we do? First, we create a template of it. Then we follow the same approach. My builder will follow the same approach to build a house for me. Same thing is there. God has followed a approach to create in this same manner, right? So is this a real existing entity? No, na. It is
No.
just just a logical entity. We are the real entity. So the same stuff is there, data type. Data type are just template to create data object, and data types do not acquire any space. We as a human are acquiring space over this earth. We are eating something, but is this structure is going to eat something? No, no. It's just logical entity which we have created to define ourselves, right?
Mhm.
So data types are just logical entities, logical, which do not use any memory space. Okay, which do not use any memory space. They are not actually going to take any memory space. Who is going to take the memory space? Data object. Data object. Data object. What is a data object? A data object is an instance of data type. This is a real entity which is going to store some value. A data object stores or holds the actual content, holds the content or data. Okay, actual data is being stored inside the data object. That is why it occupies some memory. It occupies some memory. Okay, it occupies some memory. Now, can anybody explain what is data object? Is it, or is it there is still confusion between data type and data object? So much
So
silence.
data, the data type is like the
It's just a
class, like
logical
the.
entity, or you can say it's just a class. Okay, that's a beautiful answer. Class.
Mhm.
So it is just a class. What is a class? Class is nothing but it is just a blueprint, or you can say it's just a template using which we create objects. The same stuff is there. If you want to explain this on a very small level, you can say a data type. Data type is just to define the technical. Like if I have to store a value of name, let's say I have to store a value of name. Okay, so I will create a variable or I will create a object, right? Where I can store its value. Let's say I'm creating a variable called name. So I will store some value called Amrit Raj here. So if I am able to store this value inside this particular variable, does it means that it has some space, it is taking some amount of space. That is why we are able to store some value in it now.
Mhm.
So this is the actual object called data object which actually holds or contents of data. Now if I have to define the data object, I will have to specify what kind of data this object is going to store. That kind is called as data type. I will have to specify what kind of data. Is it a character, or is it a number, or is it an integer? Okay, is this thing clear?
Mhm.
It is clear now, Mukul?
Mhm.
Or it still confuses? No, no?
The data type would be, for example, integer, character, and data object will be the value of that. For
Actual
example,
value of yeah, actual value. It is just type. You are specifying that I am going to store integral value there. Okay, I'm going to store integral value. So that integer will be your data type, and that value will be your stored inside the object. Object is like a container which is actually going to store some data. Okay, container which is taking some space where I will be able to actually store some amount of data. Is it clear?
yes, thank you.
So types or categories of data types. How many categories of data types are there in SAP? How many categories of data types are there in SAP? First one, or let's say elementary data types. Second one, complex data type. And third one, referenced data type. Reference data types. What do you think elementary means? What do
It
you
can
think?
be character or integer or float.
Or can I say it is the most basic data type?
Mhm.
So they are the predefined data types, predefined data types given by SAP for us. Okay, they are predefined data types, or I will say that they are single data types, and they are not composed of other data types. Composed of other data types. They are not composed of other data types. They are the single ones. If you are going to see elementary data types, you will find in elementary data types there is a fixed length data type, fixed length, fixed length, and then there is another one, variable length data type. Okay, variable length data type. In the fixed length, like you can specify the actual length that we were doing in a case of our tables, right? We were defining the length of all the columns inside the domain,
Mhm.
and inside the domain we were specifying the data type. That data type was your elementary data type. Okay, for the fixed length you have character. Inside our program we can use C to specify the character. We have numeric, combination of both characters and numbers using numc or n. Another one is integer. You can specify I. Then we have, let's say, packed number, combination of both number and decimal, called P. You can use floating point decimal with F. You can use date and with type D. D is the type for date. You can directly define a date variable with D. Then for time we have T. These are some of the elementary data types. Then we have variable length. In variable length we have string. So if you don't know how much length of your character you are going to store inside a data object, what you can simply do is just make its data type as a string, because it's a variable length, and it or its length will be defined at the runtime. The amount of data that we will store inside the variable, automatically its length will be changed to that particular number. Okay, is this thing clear?
Yes.
Okay, na, Mukul?
Yes.
Then we have, guys, complex data type. Complex data type. So there is no predefined complex data type. First important thing, there is no complex predefined data type. Predefined data types. And it is the combination of you it is the combination of elementary data type. Using the multiple elementary data types, we usually define complex data type. It is combination of elementary data types. Now, can anybody tell me any name of complex data type that you guys have already seen?
For example, internal tables or
Did you have seen internal table yet inside this training? No, na? Did I explain internal table till now?
no, 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 no.
No. So I am telling complex data type, and I am also telling this thing that we have already seen one of it. Just
Mm.
focus. What was
Structure.
that? Yes, structure. Structure is a logical entity. It do not require any space. It is the combination of elementary data types. We were able to pass a lot of columns inside it. Structure, another one, table type. Table type. Okay. Table type is there. If you will go to SE11, if you will select the data type radio button, let me just show it to you. If you will go to SE11, if you will select this data type radio button, give a name, any name. Let's say Z something, go for create button. By default, what you are going to see is first data element, then you have structure in table type. These are complex one. Okay. Table type is just a type of table. Okay. Inside this table type, we usually pass the structure. We will see it when we will define our own internal table inside the program. That is some separate stuff. But for now, just theoretical purpose, structure and table type. Okay. Then we have reference data type where we pass a reference of it. Here data object contains, we when we define any data object using this reference data type, then it is also a not it is also not a predefined data type. Okay, predefined data type. Only elementary type is predefined. And here when we defined the data object, they contain the reference of other objects. This is, we mainly use these things in object oriented programming. That is a very different and separate approach. There we will discuss these things in detail, but for now only these two things are important for us. Okay,
Yes.
is this thing clear? How many types of data?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, then we have data object. Data object. Data object. Data objects. It is an instance, right? We have already seen it is an instance of data type, and it stores or contains some data or actual content, right?
Mhm.
So what you are going to see is your data object is of two types. Okay, is of two types. One is named data object. Okay, and another one is unnamed data object. Unnamed unnamed data object. Okay, so let's discuss this unnamed data object first. So unnamed data object simply means that you are simply displaying something in form of write statement. Let's just open our program and just show. Let me show here. This was my first program I've created. So let's see here. I'm displaying first, or this is my first programming class. I'm simply displaying this text. I will click on activate button and I will click on execute button. Oh, sorry, activate it, click on execute. What is my output? This is my first programming class, right?
Mhm.
This is my output now. Now let me change it to just value called 120. Now if I will activate it and execute it, I am able to get the 120 data. So have I defined any name for the data that I am passing here? No, no, I have not defined any name for it. So this kind of data objects are called as unnamed data object. You will be able to see inside this name you can pass either numeric data that we have seen for right now 120, and we can also pass the character data that we have seen just a moment ago. Okay, character also. So unnamed data object, or some people also call it literals, might have heard it, literals. So you can use numeric literals or character literals, totally up to you. This is and now named data object. Named data object. So if its name is named data object, can I say a data object which has a name, right?
Mhm.
Which has a name. When I will define that data object will contain a name. And we have three kinds of named data object. We have three kinds of named data object, out of which the first one is variable, second one is your constant, and third one is your text symbol. Three types of named data object, text symbol. Guys, when we go to school, when we are like kids, when we first go to school, we hear this word variable in the our early mathematics class, let's say fourth or fifth. When we are in fourth or fifth, we see this word variable, right?
Mhm.
What is the meaning of a variable? That is, its value can be changed,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
This is a simple
Yeah.
meaning for a variable, that which contents can be changed, which contents can be changed. So guys, how do we define a variable? We define a variable using data keyword. Just see here, data keyword. We define a variable using data keyword. So let's go to program. Let's go to our program and see. Let's define a variable data. Now I will give a name for my variable. So since I am defining a local variable inside the program, the standard way to give a name is always start with LV keyword, okay, for local variable. If you don't like it, you can give your name Mukul, or if you don't like it, if you can give your name Ellen as a variable here. Nobody is going to question. Totally up to you. But again, we should only use those names as variables or tables which are meaningful in nature. Okay, so that anybody can easily understand it. So LV underscore, I want to define a variable for employee ID. So I am writing here LV employee ID. So local variable for employee ID. Okay.
Mhm.
Is it okay? So this is my data object, named data object called variable. Now I have to define a data type for it. Okay. So first I will give a length. So to give a length, we use parenthesis, and inside this parenthesis, we give its length. Let's say I'm just giving its length as 3. Same to same that I have created inside the table, 3 length character for my employee ID. and for character type C, full stop or period. Is this a statement?
Yes.
It is a statement. I have defined a variable using data keyword. That variable name is LV employee ID or local variable employee ID. Its length is 3 and its type is character. You see here I told you for character we can simply pass C. Okay. This is how we define a numeric we define a variable. If you want to pass a direct value inside this variable while defining it, you can use here value keyword, and you can store any value like 103 or whatever value you want to store. You told me Mukul na ki what will happen if I will try to store a value greater than 3 character, right?
Mhm.
Let's check it out. Let's find it out. The only way to check is just go and check. The only way to find it, just go and check it. Let me just display its value. What will the output will come? Let's find it out. What is the output?
Mhm.
103. First three character I am able to. Also, there is a warning message coming. The value specified is longer than the associated field. The value specified will be passed in the length of the field only. Okay.
Mhm.
We are getting a warning message also. Just remove it. Or let's say just let it be. Now I have given a 103 value. Okay. Now I am simply changing its value. So I will give my variable name equal to, let's say, 101. Guys, one more important thing. For your programming part, the value always passes from right to left. See here, whatever the value that you have written here, that value will be now stored inside this variable. So earlier your variable was 103, sorry, the value of your variable was 103. Now it has been changed to 101. See how programming actually works. When my compiler will start its execution, it will go to directly for this line, and after that it will start its execution. So slowly when it will come to line 11, it will find out that we are defining a variable and we have stored its value to 103. Now when it will go to line 13, it will see that the value of my program has been changed from 103 to 101. And then because of this write statement, I will get the output for my variable. So what will be my output now?
101.
Definitely 101 because I have changed its contents. That is why it is the variable here. Variable because we can change its value. Another one is constant, and the term itself is suggesting whose value cannot be changed. Whose value cannot be changed. And it is defined. It is defined using constant keyword. Okay. It is defined using constants keyword. Okay.
Mhm.
So can you tell me any constant value? We know na for pi we have the value 3.14. So
Mhm.
even is it possible to change the value of pi? No na, it is a fixed value. It is a fixed value na. Nobody can change it. It is a fixed value 3.14. So is it meaningful to store the value of pi inside a variable? Definitely not, because variable we inside the variable we only store those values if so that we can change it. If any in the nearby future, if we are required to change its value, we can simply change it. But if I already know that there is a constant value which is not going to be changed in the future also, why should I store it in a variable? I can go for the constant part. Okay, constants,
Mhm.
constant, and give any constant name. So let's say for local constant, I'm simply writing here like local constant, and let's say pi. Now for pi, I will use packed number. Okay, packed number with decimals up to length 3, and inside it, I will pass its value 3.141. It is a packed number which consists of actual number, and also the decimal part up to 3 characters, up to 3 length. Okay. Now let's try to change its value. Let's try to change the value of LCL pi or local pi. If I will try to change its value to, let's say, uh, 1.141. Now see the syntax, guys. See the syntax. The field local pi cannot be modified, right? We are getting an error. Is this thing clear?
Mhm.
Yes.
Is this thing clear? This
Mhm.
is how we specify a constant. Very basic stuffs, but very crucial. If you are going to miss it, you will make a lot of error in the upcoming days. So this is the second one, and the third one is text symbol. Text symbol. Text symbol is a named data object that is not, it is not declared inside a program. First thing, it is not declared inside the program, but it is defined, but it is defined as a part of text element of the program. What is the meaning of it? As a part of text element of the program. We are not going to define here directly, but what we will do is we will click on go to, and we can see here we have text element. Press enter and see here text symbol. Okay, how much character we can write here? Up to 3 length, right? Up to 3 length. We can give your value
Mhm.
now up to 3 length. So you can give any symbol here that you want. Usually we give from 0, 0 to max 999. So for a particular program, you can like define 1000 text symbols here. You can define text symbols here, any number. You can go pass here any number. Let's say 001. So here I am simply writing hi Alan, and here I'm writing, let's say, hi Mukul. Here I'm writing hi Amrit. Now activate it. So how we will access these text symbols now? By using the symbol that we have passed here, by using the symbol that we have passed here, by using the symbol that we have passed here. Go to your program, and if you want to use it, let's say I want to get the output, so I will use the write statement here. I will explain the write statement. For now, just I am explaining how we are using text symbol. So let's say we will write text. See here, text is a keyword followed by a hyphen and the number 001, right? This was the number I've given for the first text now. Execute it. 0 hi Mukul, its value will come. Now execute the second one. 002 hi Amrit. First was 000, so let's say 000. Activate it, execute it, and see hi Alan. Okay,
Mhm.
it is also a named data object. You can store any text that you want, any number that you want there. Three kinds of data object: variables, constant, and text symbol. Okay. So guys, with this, I will end today's session. This was only for basic stuff. In the next, from the next part, we will start with the coding part. Okay. And please try to understand how this editor works. What is the use of all these buttons? Slowly and gradually, I will explain a lot of stuff, but please try to not miss anything that I'm explaining here. Okay.
Yes.